Yesterday I put up a clip regarding the benefits of DHEA, and one of the questions was regarding blood tests and if they signify optimal ranges. Here's the thing about blood tests that you need to realize. Blood tests just show you a reference range. This is a range of everyone who's gotten tested. So the optimal range is for you to determine with a physician who knows what he or she is talking about. Now here's a caveat. Most doctors don't know jack shit about hormones. If you're going to your general practitioner, the person who shoves a finger in your ass to check your prostate and checks your knee reflexes, chances are 9 times out of 10, that person doesn't know jack shit about hormones, and you're going to get terrible information, such as, oh, you don't want testosterone too high, it causes prostate cancer. Wrong. You don't want estrogen too high, ladies, it causes cancer, breast cancer. Wrong. Anyone who gives you that erroneous, antiquated, outdated, false information, it's time to move on. You want to work with a real hormone optimization expert, such as someone like Dr. Mark Gordon. A really good company that prescribes both hormone replacement for men and women is Male Excel. They have an account on Instagram, maleexcel.com, for those of you that need a distance program because there's no one in your locality. They can prescribe hormones for you based on your blood work and your symptoms. More importantly, your symptoms. So back to blood work. The blood work is just a reference range. You may need to be way higher than the top end of that reference range. For example, the reference range for testosterone, let's say with Quest Diagnostics, I believe it goes up to around 1100. Okay, and then free goes up to I think 150. Now you may be at the top end of that and still not feel great. It's rare. Most men are going to feel great at a number of 1200 and a free of 150, 200. You're going to probably feel really good, but you may not. You may need to be way higher than that. At the same time, you may be in the middle of the range. You may have a total testosterone of 500 and a free of 85. I would feel terrible at that range. I know because I've been there before. I need to be way higher than that to feel my best. But you may feel fantastic at that. So see where I'm going? You don't treat blood work, you treat symptoms. The blood work is just a way to act as a barometer. So for example, if you feel terrible, you have a low sex drive, you're not making progress in the gym, and you get a blood test done and your testosterone is 350, that's a low number for most men, and your free is 65 pgml. Again, that's a very low number for most men. So now we have a snapshot of where you're at. So let's say you get on some kind of intervention, my testosterone booster, you get on TRT. The next time you get a blood test done, 2-3 months later, your total testosterone is 700 now. Your free testosterone is 120. And not only do you feel way better, the numbers show that you've improved dramatically. Now, what's interesting is you may have those numbers, that level of improvement, and you still don't feel that great. So you need to go even higher, or you need to make sure that other hormones are in ideal levels too. Remember, DHEA, pregnenolone, also very important sex hormones. It's not all just about testosterone. Testosterone to estrogen ratio is also important. Some doctors like to say it doesn't matter how high your estrogen levels go, don't worry about it. That's total bullshit. I don't buy that for a minute. Some of the negatives of taking your testosterone really high is because of the conversion that happens to estrogen. So if you have a total testosterone of 1500 and you feel fantastic at that, you have no side effects, no elevated PSA, no elevated liver enzymes, but you're converting too much testosterone to estrogen because you have too high aromatase enzymes that convert testosterone to estrogen. Generally, this is because of excess body fat, but sometimes it happens in lean men too. And now you're not going to feel your best with that really high testosterone level because too much is being converted to estrogen. You take something such as my EC, my estrogen control supplement, which doesn't have any of the negatives of something harsh like a Arimidex, a really harsh AI, aromatase inhibitor, and now you have a more balanced testosterone to estrogen ratio, you're going to feel fantastic. So this is a fairly complex subject. You see where I'm going? You really need to work with someone who knows what he or she is talking about and doesn't treat numbers. Because what a lot of doctors are going to do is they're just going to scan your blood work, and if you're in quote unquote the normal range, they're going to say, hey, you're in the normal range, you're good to go. What if you're at the very bottom of that reference range, 250 for testosterone, and your free is 50, whatever, 45, whatever the bottom end of the range is with the test, and you feel terrible, but the doctor says you're in the normal range, so we're not going to worry about any intervention. Time to get a new doctor. Symptoms is what matters the most, not your blood work. Again, the blood work is just a way to gauge where you're at and gauge progress and see if interventions are working. So instead of just taking something and going, yeah, I think I feel better, we actually have data that can show, look, you've actually improved dramatically. These protocols are working.